Welcome to your first math video. You will be responsible each week to watch the videos for the lessons that we will be learning. You will watch them the night before the lessons that we will be doing the next day so that you will be able to do the classwork in class instead of at home. So your homework is to watch the videos and then you do the homework in class. So at most, your homework should last no more than 15 minutes. My videos will never last more than 15 minutes. And then you will do the homework in class so that you are able to ask questions, and I'm available to help you. When you're watching the videos, you're going to follow along in your book that you received in class. You're going to highlight when I highlight. You're going to write when I write. You write down every example. You do every example. You can pause and rewind whenever you want. You can work ahead and then watch the video to see if you're doing it correctly. Write down any questions that you have or any problems that you didn't understand exactly how I got that answer, and we'll go through them the following day in class. As a whole group, we'll do some examples to make sure that everybody understands exactly what we are doing with this lesson. So first, our first lesson is Chapter 3, Lesson 1, and it starts on page 178 in your textbook. You'll see exactly what you see on the screen here. It says add decimals. And the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to highlight what it tells us to do when we add decimals. So to add decimals, we're going to line up the decimal points. So they have to be in line. And then we're going to add the digits in the same place value position. So in the ones, the tens, and the tenths place, hundredths, whatever place value they are, we're going to add them together. So let's look at example number 1. So we have 23. It says find the sum of 23.1 and 5.8. So first of all, the word sum means to add. So we're going to take 23.1 and we're going to add 5.8. And you see how I lined up the decimals right here? They have to be exactly in line, and we're going to add those together. So in the example here, you can see that they're lined up, and then they just added straight down. 8 plus 1 is 9, 5 plus 3, 8, and then 2 plus 0 is 2. Before they began, they estimated to make sure that their answer made sense and had reasonableNess. So if we estimate, excuse me, 23.1, that's the same as saying about 23. If I estimate 5.8, 8 is 5 or more, so I'm going to round that up to 6. So if I take 23 plus 6, I get 29. Is 29 close to 28.9? Yes. So our answer makes sense. There is reasonableness there. Let's look at example number 2. It says find the sum of 29.6 and 14.7. If we estimate 29.6, that 0.6 is 5 or more, so we're going to round it up to 30. And 14.7, 0.7 is more than 5, so we're going to change that to 15. So 30 plus 15 gives us about 45. So our answer should be close to 45. So we have 29.6. We're going to fill in our boxes here. And 14.7. And then we're going to add because it tells us to find the sum. Sum means add. So our decimal points are all lined up here. Okay, we always bring that decimal point straight down. And then we're going to add 7 plus 6, 13. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 4 more gives us 14. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 1 more gives us 4. So we have 44.3. And these squiggly lines, that means almost equal to. So not exactly equal to, but almost, is about 45. Yes, that's true. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Down at the bottom of the page it says, got it. I want you to pause your video and do A, B, and C. Welcome back. I will walk you back through A, B, and C. We have 21.4 and 54.7. We're going to add those together. You have 7 plus 4. Is it 761? No, we have to bring down our decimal. It'd be 76.1. So A, you should have received an answer of 76.1. B, we have 23.5, and it doesn't matter if you put the big number on top or on bottom. We're adding, so it's not going to change your answer. Bring down our decimal right away so we don't forget. 5 plus 2, 7. 4 plus 3, 7. 2 plus 1, 3. We should have an answer of 37.7. And then letter C, we have 33.5 plus 17.3. Add them together. 5 plus 3, 8. Bring down our decimal right away, don't forget that. 7 plus 3, 10. 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1 more, 5. We get an answer of 50.8. Remember, if there's something that you don't understand, write it down. We can go through it in class the next day. If I'm going too fast or you didn't hear something, rewind the video, watch it again. Okay, let's turn the page. Subtracting decimals is exactly the same way. We're going to highlight. To subtract decimals, you're still going to line up those decimal points. You're going to subtract the digits in the same place value position. Okay, here's a new word. You may need to annex. Okay, that means to place zeros at the end of a decimal. Okay, so annex means you're going to insert zeros at the end of the decimal in order to subtract. So let's look at number 3. They have 5.774 minus 2.371. So they estimated first. Okay, 5.7 is going to round to 6. 2.3 is going to stay at 2. So 6 minus 2, our answer should be around 4. Okay, so if we subtract, 4 minus 1 gives us 3, 7 minus 7 gives us 0, 7 minus 3 gives us 4. Bring down that decimal point. 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have 3.403. 3.4 is close to 4, so that is correct. Let's look at number 4. Here's where they're talking about annexing zeros. Okay, so we have 6. That's just going to stay 6 when we estimate. 4.78. That 0.7 is going to round that 4 up to a 5. So we have 6 minus 5. Our answer should be close to 1. Okay? 6 is a whole number. You can't see the decimal, but it's there. In a whole number, the decimal is always at the end. So behind that 6 is a decimal. We need to annex zeros, or just put in zeros behind the decimal so that we can subtract 4.78 from 6. So we're just inserting the zeros behind, so now we can subtract 4.78. So we need to borrow. So if we have 6.00 and 4.78, we have to borrow. Okay? We can't borrow from the 0. We have to borrow from the 6. Our 6 turns to a 5. Now our 0 turns to a 10. So now we can borrow from that 10, make it a 9, and our first 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 gives us 2. 9 minus 7 gives us 2. Bring down our decimal point. 5 minus 4 gives us 1. We get an answer of 1.22, which is close to 1. Remember, if I went too fast, you didn't get something, you need something repeated, you can always rewind the video and watch it again. You don't have to watch the whole video, just to a certain point. Let's go to the next part. Number 5. We have 23 minus 4.216. So remember, 23 is a whole number. You can't see the decimal, but it's there. It's at the end, okay? And then you have 4.216. What has to go above the 2 and the 1 and the 6? Zeros. Perfect. So now we can subtract. Once we subtract, we have to borrow and borrow. That becomes 1, 13. Now we can borrow from the 13, make it a 12, 10. We can borrow from the 10, make it a 9, 10. Borrow from the 10, make it a 9, and 10. So now we can subtract. 10 minus 6, 4. 9 minus 1, 8. 9 minus 2, 7. 12 minus 4, 8. Good. 1 minus 0, 1. So 23 minus 4.216 gives us 18.784. Go ahead and do the got it's D, E, and F. Pause your video and then come back and I will walk you through them. Welcome back. We'll go ahead and subtract 9.543 and 3.671. Should always make sure that your numbers are lined up. This is not going to work for me. So I'm going to erase that and rewrite it. So I have 9.543 and 3.671. And I am subtracting. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Borrow, borrow. So our 8, 15. 15 turns to a 14. And our 4 can turn to a 14. 14 minus 7 gives us 7. 14 minus 6, 8. Good. 8 minus 3, 5. And what did I forget to do? Bring down my decimal. Excellent. So the answer for letter A is 5.872. Letter E, we have 50.62 minus 39.81. And we have money here. So 2 minus 1 is 1. We can't. We got to borrow. 10, 9, 16. 8 plus 8 is 16, so I know that that's going to be an 8. Bring down my decimal. 9 minus 9 is 0. 4 minus 3 is 1. So my answer for letter E should have been $10.81. Do not forget your labels. If you forget your labels, your answer is wrong. So now I have 14 minus 9.09. What do I need to put up above the 0 and the 9? 2 zeros. Perfect. I have to borrow. I'm just going to cross off the 14 and make it a 13. Make that a 10. Reduce it again. 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 0 is going to be 9. Bring down my decimal. 13 minus 9. 4. Perfect. So my answer is 4.91. Remember, if you need to go back and rewind, you can go ahead and rewind to rewatch the next part. If you'd like to go ahead and continue doing examples, you can do examples 6 and G, and we'll go ahead and correct them in class the next day. Remember to bring your questions to class as well. Thank you. Have a great night.